Chaos erupts as a glass wall suddenly implodes. An elderly woman has a near miss. Bystanders rush to assist amid shattering glass. High above, tremors or violent winds send pool water surging violently. A construction site collapse traps a worker amidst tangled steel and concrete. Inside, the storm's ferocity tears sections of the metal roof away like paper, seeking cover. Towering scaffolding buckles under intense wind, collapsing onto vehicles below. Infrastructure fails, dangerous sparks fly, wind howls indoors. Outside, a maelstrom reduces visibility, trees contort, cars are shoved sideways by the overwhelming force. The roads become treacherous zones dominated by nature's power. Looking out from inside, relentless wind hammers debris and sheets of rain against the windows. The storm's raw violence feels perilously close. A sudden, dangerous failure as a power line snaps and crashes. A devastating flash flood rips through this rural area. Thick, muddy water surges violently, turning familiar ground into a treacherous, fast-flowing river threatening homes. Widespread flooding inundates communities. Streets vanish beneath murky, debris-filled rivers. Water steadily climbs walls, swallowing yards as residents navigate hazardous conditions. Infrastructure disappears under the rising tide. Urban centers paralyzed. Critical intersections submerge. Stranding vehicles. Resourceful residents navigate the flooded streets by boat. Nightfall brings no relief. A violent storm lashes the coast, palm trees whipping violently. Debris flies, motorcycles toppled easily. The flood breaches defenses, invading interior spaces. Murky water fills hallways, floating debris. The building becomes part of the disaster zone. The destructive flow continues elsewhere. Muddy waters surge down streets, carrying reminders of the widespread flooding, carving paths through vulnerable communities and damaging property. Sudden, violent gusts rip through this market, shredding tarps, collapsing structures. A terrifying panorama from behind glass. Nature's full fury. Trees writhe violently, branches thrashing against the relentless wind. Foliage flattens. Blinding rain slashes horizontally, reducing visibility to almost nothing. The structure groans under the constant assault. The howling gale, a deafening reminder of the immense energy battering the exterior. A prolonged, terrifying siege. Modern structures buckle. Water pours, then cascades from ceiling vents in this shopping mall. Leaks escalate rapidly until large sections of saturated ceiling panels fail catastrophically, crashing down. Shoppers watch as the interior succumbs. Wind's destructive power hits another outdoor event. Makeshift shelters offer little resistance. Tarps shred. Structures lift and tumble, forcing people to run from flying debris. A wider view shows the market chaos. Stall coverings torn away, goods scattered, larger structures lean precariously under the assault. School grounds turn treacherous, intense winds and rain batter the area, umbrellas offer futile protection, a large tent structure is violently slammed by gusts as people struggle for refuge. Panic erupts as floodwaters surge. People run through the rising water for safety. Sacred grounds offer no immunity. A powerful storm descends on the temple complex. Heavy rain and fierce winds tear at the surroundings. Offerings are soaked, items blown away. Protective netting shreds and whips violently. Trees surrounding the temple sway dramatically, shedding leaves. The intensity builds, transforming serenity into chaos. Loose debris becomes airborne, rattling against buildings. Even heavier objects are shifted. This prolonged assault highlights the vulnerability of all structures against severe weather. Raw, impartial power. The storm's impact. Text notes heavy roof damage, fallen trees at the school. Thankfully, no students injured. Classes relocated, showing significant disruption and the need for resilience. An expansive outdoor setup faces the storm's brunt. Rows of tables battered by wind, coverings ripped away, chairs skittering. From undercover, the storm's intensity is clear. Rain drives hard, pooling rapidly. Trees sway violently. Nightfall brings increased hazards. Damaged power lines arc, erupting in fire. Bright flashes and explosions signal catastrophic failure. An outdoor restaurant pummeled. Rain lashes down, driven by strong winds, shaking trees and whipping hanging plants. Wind power demonstration. A hammock thrashed violently, twisting and straining. The aftermath reveals the storm's visit. The restaurant area littered with debris, broken wood, overturned furniture. Another large event tent fails under powerful winds. Fabric rips before the structure begins to collapse. Rivers swell into fast-moving, muddy torrents, threatening nearby areas. Flooded streets remain under calmer skies, water slowly retreating. From above, the staggering scale of inundation. Vast areas remain submerged. Night flooding persists. Streets submerged, reflecting streetlights. People navigate by boat, the only viable transport. A small vessel struggles against the current, highlighting the disruption from lingering high water. A desperate rescue in the powerful flood current using a rope. The floodwater's immense force rushes past buildings, carrying debris, threatening structures. Powerful, destructive flow. Another street transformed into a raging torrent. Brown water churns violently, showing the dangers of flash floods. Rescue team deploys safety lines to help people cross treacherous currents. Residents wade through debris-strewn floodwaters, navigating the hazardous aftermath.
อัปเดตสถานการณ์ตอนนี้นะเจ้า
Floodwaters surge against barriers, testing gates and walls with relentless pressure. Aerial perspective reveals devastating flooding. Entire neighborhoods remain submerged. Amidst disaster, compassion shines. People pull a struggling dog from the fast-moving floodwaters to safety. Urban flooding depth is stark. Cars submerged almost to their roofs. A large truck navigates the deep water. A lone figure wades through deep street flooding, an image of resilience. A pickup truck plows through the flooded city street, creating a significant wake, illustrating the depth and challenges of moving through the heavily impacted city.